Day. I wait for some of you guys to come on here. Happy Tuesday. Hope you all are doing good. I'm going to try not to chew, but happy Tuesday. I thought I'll do something a little different as opposed to my everyday, when I do like these little podcast things where I'm just talking to you guys. I thought I would do something a little different. So, but I'll wait for some of you guys to come on and hang out for a little bit. So this photo that you see here is a picture of me. I'm to the right. That's my sister on the left. And obviously my oldest, Quan, and my youngest, well, my second youngest, Nathan. So that was when I had only 2 kids. We took this picture at this place called Q Studios. If you know, you know. Y'all know back in the day where a lot of pictures were being taken at those studios. It was our thing. But there's my sister, meet my sister. If you come from my old channel, you've seen my sister numerous times. But yeah, this is my sister. These are my 2 boys. I was obviously much younger in this picture. I'm not sure if y'all can tell or not. But maybe I was younger. I don't know how old I was in this picture. And obviously the boys were a lot younger too as well. But we took this picture and this is one of my favorite photos. We were just talking about too that we need to recreate another one of these. Every year we would do like Christmas theme type pictures and stuff. So, but then I kind of got into photography and we started doing our own stuff. So, what is this saying? Just you, seller, which saved us a lot in return. Oh, come back here. But sisterhood is amazing. If you have a good sisterhood, it's amazing. I am grateful for my sister, and I am super happy that my daughters also have each other, which is amazing. Seeing Josephine be a big sister to her younger sisters, and even be a big sister to Roman, it's really cool. Now, a lot of people don't understand where my kids' names come from. So we'll talk about it a little bit. So my oldest son was originally going to be named Joseph, but then in the end, I ended up changing it. He was going to be named Joseph because my mother, who passed away when I was younger, her name was Josephine. So we were going to do the boy version of Joseph, but then I ended up going with Quan. And then there's Nathan. Nathan was almost named Keegan. I'm not sure why that was even a thought, but for the longest, I thought I was going to go with Keegan. And I decided that was not something that I wanted to do. Instead, I made that part of his middle name. So, and then I kind of went back and forth with Nathaniel. And I was like, Nathaniel's too long. So then we went with Nathan. And then Josephine, of course, right? My mom's name was Josephine. So that's where her name comes from. And then there's Roman, the book of Romans. If you read the Bible, that's where his name originates from. And then we have Esther. Esther is named after my late grandmother who raised me, who was my bestest friend, the most amazing grandmother in the entire world. Both my grandmothers. but the most amazing grandmother, sacrificed so much. The definition of a grandma. So there was no way she was not going to be named Esther. So a lot of people are like, oh, she has such an old name. I think the old names are making a comeback, which is really beautiful. And I love older names because they never go out of style. They're traditional. I advise y'all to do that. You know, I love older names. I think they're beautiful and they're timeless. So that's where Esther came from. My other little girl, I'm not going to share her name. I have not shared much about her. That's a personal choice. So maybe one day, if I choose to, maybe I will share a little bit of her name and how it came about. But yeah, that's kind of the little backstory of my children's names. But yeah, so this is my oldest sister, by the way. We kind of look like we're twins. So it'll probably be kind of hard to tell who's older because we got that all the time, especially when we dressed alike like we are now in this picture. Y'all see that I've been doing this matching thing for a long time. My sister and I started matching. Everybody always used to think that we were twins, just like everyone thinks Esther and our youngest baby girl right now are twins. Everywhere we go, everyone's always asking, are they twins? Are they twins? No, they're not twins. They're like, they look so much alike. I'm like, I remember that. My sister and I used to get that all the time, especially when we wore matching clothes. So the matching has always been there. It didn't just happen. It didn't just start. We've always been doing this forever. Didn't start because of no social media. You can call us the OG in the matching game. We've been doing this for a while. We're not new to this. We're true to this. We've been doing this for a hot minute. But yeah. So yeah, these are the boys. They have obviously gotten so much bigger. They are so much older now, which is so sad. Nathan's hair is like poking out. Quan with the baby face. My dad said that Quan has such a baby face. No matter how old he gets, he's always going to look so youthful. And I agree. He has a baby face. He's always going to look young, no matter how old he gets. He got that black don't crack. Okay. Nathan, we're still yet to see. Nathan got a baby face too, but his face is starting to change a little bit. It's definitely starting to mature. The other day I showed him a picture of himself. I'm like, look at you. You look so much different. You're getting so much older now. He's like, you know what, Mom, you're right. I do look different. I'm like, you do, hon? You are looking different these days. Let me tell you something. Yeah? Let me tell you something. I usually don't speak in my native language, but I'll start a little bit. One time somebody came on live and they're like, your English is so good. I'm like, yeah, when you've been here since you were 8 years old, it's kind of something that will be good. But I very much so know how to speak Pidgin. Okay. Now, I will say when I first came to the United States, I did not know how to speak English for anything. Could not speak English for nothing. The tribe that I belong to is Kru. My grandmothers, that was all they spoke. So there was no other language being spoken. And then unfortunately, I learned English and it kind of stuck. And yeah, so I will say I cannot speak my native language as fluently. I can understand it. I can speak it a little bit, but I cannot speak it fluently. So there's a difference between dialects and Pidgin. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of Americans don't know that. The American school system sucks here. Let's be honest. A lot of people here, they don't really know. Excuse me. A lot of them do not know. A lot of them are very confused. A lot of them don't even know that Africa is a continent. They think that Africa is just this one place. But here's a little breakdown. In Africa, there's a bunch of different countries, okay? People do not all speak the same language. People do not speak the same dialects. If you know what a dialect is a different language. So even though I might be from Africa, there are other Africans who do not speak the same language that I speak, okay? They have to come from the same tribe that I come from in order for them to understand me when I'm speaking my native language. All right? Yes, exactly. Africa is very diverse, and a lot of people do not know that. A lot of Americans, excuse me, do not know that from my experience. From living in America, being with a Caucasian male, and just seeing their interactions and everything, a lot of them do not know. And it's the school system. The school systems is just sucks in America. They're passing kids along without them even knowing the curriculum, okay? There are kids in the wrong grades who shouldn't even be there because they don't know the subjects. They shouldn't even be in those classes because they're not there. Fundamentally, mentally, they are not there, okay? But they pass these kids along. The American school system sucks. Take it from me, who have 6 children. The American school system sucks, okay? That's why a lot of the people around here are walking around. They don't really know much. You know, a lot of them, they think their knowledge is from what they see on TV. What they see on TV is what they believe is reality because they don't know. They weren't taught. So whatever they see on television, they think that's what it is. That's their reality. Most of them never leave their hometowns. They're still in the same hometowns their entire lives. They never go anywhere. They never experience life. Their entire reality is warped in what they see on television, and they think that is the truth. And that's what they believe about everybody. They just don't know. So Africa is very diverse. So like I said, I come from the group Kru, and that's the language that we speak. However, that's where Pidgin English comes in. That's how us Africans are able to understand each other through our Pidgin, also known as English, if you will, okay? Where I'm from, English is actually the universal language there. That's how we're able to understand each other. A lot of people don't know that. It doesn't sound the American way, whatever that is. It does not sound the American way, but it's broken down. That's why it's called Pidgin. So it's the same words, but being spoken differently, okay? And a lot of Americans don't really understand it because some of the words are pronounced a little differently, but it is still English. It's the primary language. Amen. God is going to work it all out. God is going to work it all out. It will all be worked out. The division and all of that, it will all be worked out in the end. Gotta have faith. One Africa, right? One Africa always. Africa to the world. You see our music, African music everywhere. Turn on the radio station in America and you're going to hear some Nigerian music. Okay, you're going to hear some Ghanaian music. Africa to the world. Okay? Nowadays, let's just be honest. There's people are listening to more African music than they are American music, depending on in your world, right? But regardless, universally, you go online, most of the music that people are dancing to, whether you're white, Asian, black, Mexican, you name it, people are majority of the time these days dancing to African music because of the beat, okay? And a lot of people like it because it's clean. You're not hearing a lot of swearing and a lot of craziness, right? So people are vibing with that. So a lot of the music you're hearing now on the radio stations in America. So if you are in Africa, know that African music is being played here. It's all over these stations. You go online, a lot of them are dancing to it and they're vibing to it, and we love it. That's how things are supposed to be. Africa to the world. One world. We are all united, and that is how life is supposed to be. and we love it. Now, does that take away from the fact that there's going to be races and there are going to be people still stuck in their ways? You know what, you guys, the older that I get, the more that I realize some people are just stuck in their ways and there is nothing you can do about it. They're going to throw their little noses up in the air and think that they're better, push their little faces up in the air. They get irritated with African music. They get irritated with everything that is foreign. Okay? If it's foreign, they don't like it. They don't like it. Before, for the longest time, I used to think that it was just these folks against just blacks. I won't say any names, but there's an older lady that I was talking to who was from Europe. She has passed on now, may her soul rest in peace. She was from Europe, and her daughter-in-law, so the woman that her son married, did not like her because, mind you, the daughter-in-law was born here. I guess she believes like she's this high class American and no one else can tell her anything. You know how some of them are? They believe that they own America. America belongs to them and them alone. Well, she's one of those. So she thought that because her mother-in-law was from Europe, she was better than her. Okay? She was better than her, more superior than her. And she told me, she's like, it's not just you that they do this to. They do this to me as well, because we are different, because we weren't born here. I'm like, tell me something. Tell me, come on closer. Tell me a little bit, Grandma. Come on, tell me a little bit. What? For real? Sick, you guys. It's a sick mentality to believe that you have so much power over a country just because you were born there. What? What? And don't get me mistaken, not every American is this way, okay? It's just the ones who I have to say that are uneducated, because that's what it comes down to. Knowledge is power. A lot of them don't know. They are not educated. And I'm sorry, but in 2025 now, where there's so much ways to get education and educate yourself, there is no excuses for people still being backwards, people still living in the 1920s. It is 2025. If you don't know things about the African American culture, about other cultures, it is your problem. It is your fault. It does not take much to do a little research. You're choosing to stay stuck. There's a quote that I saw: a man who still thinks the way that he did when he was 20 at 40, what was it? He has lost his whole life or whatever. I forgot how the quote went. But basically, if you still think the way that you did when you were in your 20s, when you were younger, and you still think the same way as you're aging, you wasted your whole life. You have not evolved. Like, what is wrong with you? There is nothing cute about that. Nothing. Because times change. People change, and we should grow with those times. Am I saying you should change your morals and your values because of that? No. However, I am saying time should help you to be better. The older you get, the wiser you're supposed to become. You're supposed to become more knowledgeable. The Bible says, when I was a child, I thought like a child, but when I became a man, I acted like a man. At what point do people grow up? How do you evolve? And if your mindset is still stuck in the same things you were doing for years and years, and you're just going to die that way, there is nothing cute about that. Nothing. Get out. I served in the military and went to Germany and was treated better there than here. Absolutely. 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 I mean, from firsthand experience, I can only agree with you, because this was what a person from Europe was telling me, right? So I have to agree with you, because from my personal experience and what this older woman told me about how her daughter-in-law and her daughter-in-law's family and how they were treating her because she was from Europe, I have to agree with you based off my experience. I have to go with you. Everybody's experience might be different, but that is what I know. So they don't just do this to people of color. They do this to anyone who is foreign. Anyone who do not look like them, do not talk like them, who's a little different. They believe that they are more superior and they are better, all simply because they were born on American soil. Ain't that something? Now, listen, I'm from Africa, but ain't no way I think I own the continent of Africa. I'm sorry, that's weird. I do not. I believe that people are free to travel wherever they want. They're free to experience life. God made the entire world, and people should have that freedom. Go, travel, see the world. Africa does not belong to me. It does not. I might have been born there, but I don't own the continent. I'm a proud African, but I don't own the continent. Okay? So we got to be very watchful. I'm telling you guys, the things that I know and that I have seen, I haven't even said half of it. But keep on watching. That's what this channel is all about. We're spreading knowledge. We're speaking truth. We're getting down to it and we're talking about it. Because the things that I've seen, that I've experienced, oh, honey, I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to say. I haven't even said half of it. People think those little shorts videos that we did tells the entire outline and the story. Absolutely not. There is so much more. So much more. But the best way to deal with these sort of people, keep smiling, keep living. It irritates their soul. They'll keep fighting and trying to find ways to destroy you. Stay in prayer. Stay in prayer. They're trying. I'm telling you, they're full-blown. People are going to think I'm crazy. But there are full-blown witches out here. I'm not joking. These people are evil. Evil. It is a scary world. A crazy world. Not because of the world itself, but because of the people that are in the world. So if I have any advice for you guys, oh yeah. If I have any advice for you guys, stay in prayer. Because they're coming and they're trying and they're working. Okay? And then when you talk about these things and you bring it up, the first thing they're quick to say, well, racism wouldn't exist if you wouldn't keep talking about it. Excuse me? No, that's your attempt to hush me up. That's your attempt to take away from the truth of the matter. I'm not the one that started racism. Dig into your own history and see it for yourself. And then there's the, oh, black people sold their own people into slavery. Well, from someone who is knowledgeable, that's why you don't, you know, there's something really special about being raised by older folks. I was raised by both of my grandmothers because my mom had passed away. There is so much in being raised by an older, wise, okay? Not everyone who's older is wise. Okay, I'll tell you that. I have to choose my words wisely now. Not every older person who is older has wisdom. But my grandmas, they had wisdom. Okay? So please don't take this life and you're like, oh, you know, I'm going to listen to every older person. Honey, some older people will lead you straight into destruction because they're going into destruction. They don't even have any direction for their own lives. They're living like the youth. They can't reason. There's people my age who are able to reason more than they can. They're stuck in their ways and they still have a childlike mentality. So not every older person who is older has wisdom. Okay? So, back to what I was saying. What was I saying? I gotta remind me. What was I saying, you guys? Remind me, and I'll go back to what I was just saying. But yes, not every older person has wisdom. I was raised by both of my grandmothers, and because I was raised by them, and because they have wisdom, excuse me, because they have wisdom, there's a lot of things that they taught me about life. One of it being my grandmother, all the lies, because as soon as you talk about slavery, there are some white folks who would be out here to try to shut it down, say, oh, you sold your own people into slavery. My grandmother said, which makes sense. So if you're racist and you've always had a different way of thinking, and you thought that things were what they are not, you might want to listen up. My grandmother, my father, any older person that I've spoken to who's been around for a long time, lived in Africa, didn't watch stuff on TV, didn't read it in some kind of book, lived, that was their reality. They lived in Africa. They are from Africa. They are from the motherland. They will tell you that whole slavery thing, where some white folks like to claim that black people sold their own people into slavery, is not the truth. What happened was that black people, Africans, were lied to by the white man, being told that their people were going to go work, that they had work for them. Okay? They were lied to, they were deceived into believing that these people had work for them to do. They had no idea that when their people left, that they were being sold into slavery. They had no idea that's what was going on. So nobody was selling their people into slavery. How all of it began was people being lied to and being deceived on the mindset that, oh, we have jobs. It's no different than any American living in this country, and you apply for a position and you're thinking you're about to go get the job. Meanwhile, you're being, sorry, you guys. You are being taken away without the knowledge that you are being sold into slavery. I hope y'all heard that loud and clear. Again, the American school system sucks. Okay? And you can speak the truth and still have America at heart. Because all these racists, they'll be quick. Go back to where you came from. I know. That's all you have to say. Okay? Go back to where your people originated from. I can say the same thing. Please. This world belongs to all of us. Unless you're God. Only God can make the final decision. Stop telling people to go back to where we came from. You go back to where you came from then. This entire world belongs to all of us. Why? Because none of us made this world. God did. So we should all be able to experience this world fully, without limitations. Okay? This is a hot topic. I'm not Mexican. And I've said this before. I hate the fact that they call Mexican people illegals. I hate that term. I really, really hate that term. Why? Because I feel like it's demeaning. There's other ways to say that a person doesn't have paperwork without having to call them an illegal. To me, that term in itself is demeaning. Okay? So I really hate that term. I hate when people use that terminology. What a way to look down on another human being. But these people lack empathy. If there's one thing I have learned over the years, there's a lot of Americans Okay? Ones that I've came across anyways. Can't speak for everyone. Absolutely not. The ones that I have came across. The ones that I know personally. They lack empathy. Now, not every American that I know personally are that way, but you guys get my gist. Watch our channel. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. They lack empathy. I have white friends, okay? I have friends who were born here who are not white, who consider themselves Americans, because an American looks like anyone. An American can be anybody. So I'm not talking about the people that I consider friends, family. If you know, you know. Okay? For me personally, the reason why I kind of do things the way that I do now and not really wanting to speak of those people because they don't hold much weight in my life. My life does not revolve around these people. I think they get some kind of high from me speaking of them. So we disregard them, but you guys understand who I'm talking about, okay? So those people, they lack empathy. They lack kindness. I swear to you guys, some of them, not even some the most evil people I've ever met in my entire life, and I can't make this stuff up. If only you guys can see some of the text messages and the disgusting, and people say racism does not exist. The nasty evil that I have dealt with, the darkness that I have dealt with. If only. These people's hearts are horrible. They have no kindness in their hearts. None. There is no empathy. So if there's one thing I have learned, a lot of people here, some lack empathy for others because they're in their own world and only they matter. The Proud Boys. What they don't understand is you can be a proud American and still love other people. Yes. You can be a proud American and still love others. The two can coexist. Just like I can love America, I can love, certain things about America, but I'm still going to speak the truth of the problems that exist in America. The two can coexist. And I promise you, it's not just because I'm black. There are white people also who have an issue with how the American system is and how there's so many racist white folks. I promise you, it's not just because I'm black. There's a lot of white Americans who have the same problems, the same issues that I have with this country. Because guess what? The same can coexist. I can be from here. I can have been born here. But I don't like the people's mentality. I don't like the way that they think it's okay to bully others, primarily because of their skin color. I don't think it's okay. There's a lot of white folks that would be quick to speak against this stuff. And much respect to you guys. A lot of you guys have been on this channel, and I know they hate to see it. Yes, yes, yes. There are people that look like you who disagree with you. Yes, yes. They hate you too. They hate you too. So know that if you are white and you are against racism and you speak out against it, they hate you. They hate you too. They say something's mentally wrong with you. Oh, I've been getting that. Something is mentally wrong with the white people who are against injustice, who are against racism. Something's not right with them. They're mentally ill is what they call you. You're mentally ill. You're not correct in the head. You guys, sometimes all I can do is just laugh. Okay? I have to laugh. There is such a thing as Afro-Latino. People just don't like to put in extra effort and learn. But the ones who do know are afraid of what and what's done to us and will be done to them that's not in our DNA, correct? Well, and that's from what I've noticed too, that's part of the issue. You see here, as soon as a person of color starts to run for presidency, they get afraid. They get afraid. But what I noticed during this last election, a lot of them were completely against Kamala, which is fine. I don't really care, okay? I've said this before. I'm not political, okay? I just believe in human rights. I believe in treating people fairly, and I believe in treating people like people. That honestly, I could care less. If someone has hate in their heart and they're spewing hate, no, I'm not following that kind of person. Nope, it's not happening. But what I noticed during this election, a lot of these racist folks, their entire primary reason that they were using for not voting for her was the fact that she was pro-LGBTQ community. Okay? That was one of their main factors. Now hear me out. Listen to me closely. One of their main issues, or what they were hiding behind, was the fact that Kamala was willing to pass more laws, be more in favor of those who are part of the LGBTQ plus community. Now, don't get me wrong. I have my morals and I have my beliefs. Okay? I also don't believe it is my place to tell someone else how to live their life. Believe it or not, I have a friend who is part of the LGBTQ plus community. And guess what? I am a Christian. Because it's your life. It's your life. Okay? At the end of the day, that's between you and the maker. All I can do is encourage people and do the best that I can. But people are free to do what they want. I can't control people. All I can do is share my faith. People are going to be people and they're going to do what they are going to do. The best way that I've always said this is like a mother. I'm a mother, right? Sometimes our kids, not adults, because when your children grow up, leave them alone. They're adults. Okay, so when my kids get older, they're making their own decisions. Okay, I'm not meddling. I'm not prying. They're adults. I'm talking about kids here. Okay, so my children, I may not agree with some of the things that my children do, the decisions that they make. Okay, but as a mother, I will still love my kids regardless. So I love you, but I do not agree with you. The two can coexist. So I may not agree with a friend who is part of the LGBTQ plus community, but I love you, but I don't agree with you, and it can coexist. But back to my point with the whole Kamala thing. A lot of them were hiding behind the fact that she was this pro-LGBTQ plus community, and I don't know the woman, so I can't even necessarily say that's what she's all about. What I will say, a lot of times what I see these people doing, they're trying to give the American people what they want. Majority of Americans are in favor of the LGBTQ plus community. A lot. There's a huge percentage. So people try to win favor with certain people based off of that. So we don't know this woman to even say that she's evil, she's this, she's that. I don't know her. Nor do I know Donald Trump. Now, what I will say, a lot of the people who are so against Kamala because of her stance on the LGBTQ plus community aren't even Christians. They don't even live their lives that represent God. There's nothing about their lives that represent Jesus. But their entire thing that they were hiding behind, they don't want Kamala because she's pro-LGBTQ plus. But I'm like, but looking at your life, it says otherwise. Like now, see, I will reason with you if you actually lived your life for Jesus and you were actually this all believing person, but your life says otherwise. So is it really about the fact that she's pro LGBTQ plus? Or is your issue because she's black and you're afraid of having a black, or however they want to call her, right? Oh, she's Indian. She's a person of color. Let's just say that, a person of color. Is it because she's a person of color and you're afraid? Okay, Rob. Is it because you're afraid of what you think that someone that do not look like you? Are you intimidated? That I saw a lot of that. And then I will also say it wasn't just with the racist people neither. It was men, okay? Men of color, people of color, you name it. There was a lot of people. This election was super weird. And it really showed the hearts of a lot of people who say that they're Christians. It was super weird to witness. Because I cannot understand for the life of me, why are Christians acting as if Donald Trump is their Lord and Savior? Oh my gosh, you guys, the stuff has been so sickening. The way that they're acting, they're behaving as if this man is their Jesus. It is disgusting to watch. No human being should have that much power over you, should replace the Messiah. What are we doing here? These people think that this man is the second coming. Are you joking me? Listen to some of the things that they say. And what is crazy to me and what is disturbing, as a Christian woman, I have been very disappointed in the Christian community, because how in the world can we look at someone like Donald Trump and believe that he is a Christian and that's how we base our votes? And then here's their reasoning. Well, we got to choose one, a lesser of one evil. Excuse me? Oh, I heard that so much during the election. We have to choose one evil over the other. Why are we choosing any evil? Can we start there? Why are we as Christians choosing any evil? This election, people felt like they were stuck. They felt like they had no choice. They felt like he was the better option because he was proclaiming a faith-based man. But what about his life indicates that he is this man that he is claiming to be? What about his life indicates that? Anyone can say anything. I can say I'm Bill Gates right now. Is that reality? Is that the truth? I can tell you guys I'm related to him. People can say anything. If that's one thing I've learned in my life, oh, trust me. People be lying out here, I'm telling you. And if you know me personally, you know that's one of my biggest pet peeves, by the way. I don't like liars. I cannot stand liars. I am very solid on that. People are liars out here and they think that stuff is cute. So I did not understand this election whatsoever. I did not understand my brothers and sisters in Christ who were pro Donald because he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. They're making it seem like. And even some of them have commented this nonsense. I'm not even kidding. It is sickening to watch. I guess people never read in the Bible where it said that there would be a man that will come pretending to know Jesus, who is the beast himself. You see, that's why it's so important to read your Bible. Then you wouldn't be so easily swayed by the world's view. But see, a lot of it was not because of him being a Christian or proclaiming to be this man who knows God. A lot of it was just embedded in racism. They just don't want a person of color because they're intimidated by people of color. There's intimidation. So no matter how good that candidate might be for America, they're not going to go with them because they're intimidated by that skin color. Okay? Like, tell me, I don't understand for the life of me. How can someone who lives in poverty, someone who don't make much money, votes for a wealthy, rich man? Many people have their kids in the public school system, and this guy has spoke about cutting school fundings. That's not even in your favor. It makes absolutely no sense. So when you sit and you think and you actually are logical, it has absolutely nothing to do with actually helping the American people. Maybe the wealthy, not the low class, not the middle class. And let's be honest, there's a lot of low class Americans. There's a lot of Americans who are poor, dirt poor. And I'll be honest, I saw some videos like that, to be honest. You know, when you come from Africa, and when these people make themselves feel as if they're above the world, and then you come from somewhere like Africa and you come to America and you see that there's so much white people living in poverty, homeless people, homeless white people, it is very shocking. Because it's like, I expected so much. How are you homeless? How? How are you living in poverty? How you don't have no money? It is shocking to me. I thought this was the African way of life. I thought we are the poverty. We're the African booty scratchers. I thought that's who we were. I thought we were the ones that live in huts. What is this that I'm seeing? Another point in case is why we need to treat people like people. We are all people. Stop trying to act as if you're better than the next person primarily based off your skin color. Are you kidding me? And then like this whole hatred about the skin color, but then they go and they're tanning. They're in the tanning salons. Are you kidding me? You're tanning your skin to be more like me. But then you don't like me, make it make sense. I don't like the two does not go together. How you hate me so much, but you're trying to get your skin to be more like mine. You have so much hatred towards me. But I sure saw you in that tanning bed. Yeah, I saw you out there sunbathing. I saw you trying to get like me, but you hate me, remember? It makes no sense. It's like, just treat people like people. We are all one. So half of these things makes absolutely no sense, you guys. When you sit and you think about it and you reason and you're logical like I am. See, the thing about me, I'm a critical thinker. I always have been my entire life. I critically think, which is it's a very good thing to have. It's a very good trait. If I do say so myself, not trying to, you know. But I think it's a good trait for anyone to have. I'm a critical thinker. And I can carry on a conversation. But you guys, there is so much foolishness. I was so disappointed with my Christian brothers and sisters during this election. I was. So many people made false decisions or decisions based off false statements. So many people did. So many Christians. Of course, I expected the racists to vote for him. I mean, that's a given. It's a given. Naturally, you know that's what's going to happen. 100%. So there's no surprises there. But my Christian brothers and sisters, I got to say, I am so disappointed. Why? Just do a little research on the guy. Don't just go off of what somebody says up there when they're standing and they're speaking. Look at their life. Does it resonate with your beliefs? And then you might say, well, Kamala didn't either. Well, then you know what I say to that? You don't pick, you don't choose. Point blank, period. And then there might be some who might say, we had a lot of that going on this year. Well, Christians are called to vote. Christians are called to vote. You must vote. No, I don't have to. The Bible tells me we should not partake in any evil. So why are you encouraging me to choose one person over the other when they're both no good? What do you mean choose lesser of one evil? So I was highly disappointed in my brothers and sisters this year in the faith, making those kind of statements. If you guys think for a second that the government cares about you, they do not. Truly, your opinion does not matter. Pay attention, your opinion does not matter. So it really does come down to having morals and values and standing strong on that. Because the government does not care. The government's going to do what they want to do. The government is a business, people. It is a business. They're not here to favor you. It's whatever's going to make them money in the end. The government is a business. And if you think for a second they're here for you, you're funny. The government is going to do what the government wants to do. So in my opinion, you stand strong on your morals and your values. You stand firm in your faith and what you believe in, not what the world is telling you to do. So no, I do not believe in choosing one evil over the other. If they're both as bad as we're saying, why are we having to choose? So I disagree with that this year. Again, very, very disappointed. Those who voted for him based off of other reasons totally expected it, 100%. I am not surprised. Well, what were they going to do? Vote for Kamala? Heck no. It was expected. But I'm disappointed in my Christian brothers and sisters and the way that they voted. And that whole lesser of one evil thing was disheartening. It was horrible. We got to do better. And this was not it. We got to do better. But so yeah, this is my sister. We don't vlog so much on this channel as much as we would like. But this is my older sister. It's my sister Tasha and my two boys. And me to the right. We're all young in this photo. Everybody's little, everybody's young. So when y'all see me doing my matching stuff, consider me the OG in it, because we've been doing this for a long time. We're not new to this. We're true to this. We've been doing it for a hot minute. We love it. You know, the funny thing, I still have that cardigan that I'm wearing. I still have that cardigan. Actually, I think I wore the other day too. I still have that cardigan. We also have another picture with us in matching strapless dresses. I still have that dress. Now, I don't know if my sister still have hers. The last I checked, she did. She still had her dress. But I didn't want to get rid of it because I wanted to pass it down to my daughters. I thought it would be so fun. Now that my sister has a daughter, we pass it down. So I'm actually going to ask her and see if she still has that red dress. I still have this black cardigan. Still do. I actually really like my hair in this picture. It seems like we have switched hairstyles. I kind of do more like the bangs. I'm kind of into like the bangs now, where her not so much. And then for me now, and for her now, she kind of likes it the way that I have it in this picture, I think. But Lord, that girl was big into her bangs. She was into the bangs look. And I'm kind of into it now. We've kind of swapped a little bit. But it's so cool, you know, the cycle of life. Like I said before, you know, like when I had my children, especially you guys see here my two boys. I thought that was just it, you know, like I was just destined to have boys, and I was completely fine with that. I love being a boy mom. Actually, I wanted my first child to be a boy, so I was super happy that he was a boy. Loved it. Still love it. So I love being a boy mom, you know. I didn't think that I will have daughters, that it was like for me. Although I've always been like this girly girl, but when you have two boys, you're just like, okay, well, I guess I'm a boy mom, you know, and I loved it and I still do. I love my boys. But it's also so cool too to have girls, and it's like the cycle of life. Like I see my daughters and I see me and my sister so much in them. When I look at them, I think of my sister and I. It's the cycle of life, man. God is good. It's so cool to watch. But yeah, that is kind of the little thing. Maybe hopefully we would do a vlog one day and you guys would get to see my sister a little bit. Today I was like, okay, I'll do things a little bit different. I guess I'll introduce you guys to my sister and show you guys a little throwback picture of us and the boys. It's so weird now when I say girls too. Yeah, I was so used to the boys, the boys, the boys. Now I have to include the girls. The girls, it's so fascinating how things work. But I love having boys and I love having girls. I love having boys. And you guys, how blessed am I? I have an equivalent number. I have 3 boys and 3 girls. Like what? Look at God. I think that is so stinking cool because you don't see that every day. That is so cool. That is so beautiful. And I am so grateful. That is beautiful. 3 boys and 3 girls. Look at God. Okay. But it's cool. I enjoy having boys. As a woman, as a mother, I love having boys because I get to teach them through me and watching me and my actions. And of course, they can learn that too from their dad. But I am very adamant of also showcasing this and teaching this to them as well. That's why I don't agree when people say single mothers or mom of boys cannot do a great job with raising their sons. I disagree. But this is kind of a whole nother topic, but I will say this. You know, a lot of people have this perceived idea Okay, so this is kind of like what I've been talking about. Sometimes you go online and they'll have videos of a child misbehaving. Sometimes the child is white, crickets, nobody says anything. But when the child is black, immediately, well, if their father was in their life, they wouldn't be this way. I completely disagree. I completely disagree. I hate the fact that there are so many people. The first thing that they say when they see a black child acting out, they immediately contribute it to the fact that the child does not have their father in their life. There are kids who have their fathers in their lives and the fathers are not present. What good is having a father in your life when the father is not present and he's not leading you in the way in which you should go and is not helping you? So if people are going to play these games about, oh, it's because, the father left, the father's not there. I think sometimes children having fathers in their life who are damaging, who are not good, does more damage than having an absent father. Wouldn't you say? I would say so. I think that's more damaging than a child who does not have their father, who has an absent father, who is not good for them. Because I see it so often and I'm like, that is not true. There are kids who have fathers in their life. I've seen so many white people who their kids turn out so awful. And they have both mom and dad in their lives. Both mom and dads in their lives. Can we talk about that? What happened to those kids? Is it only just when it's black children, black boys? Because I can tell you, I know a number of white boys who did not turn out well. But they had active fathers in their life. So what good did that father really do by being there? Your existence means nothing if you do not add value to a child's life. It means nothing. Sometimes it's more damaging. And that's a topic that really needs to be spoken on. So before people are quick to judge a black woman for not having the father in her children's lives, or in her child's life, however you want to put it, also remember there are white men too who are there but are not there. And those things do more damage than the absent father. So people, that's what I keep saying. Just people are people. Just treat people like humans. Okay? People are going to do people things. It doesn't matter your color. It doesn't. And there are tons of white males who are not in their children's lives. A lot. Like a lot. There are a lot of white males who are not there for their kids. It is not just a black thing. Where do people get these ideas from? Stereotypes? But we have to remember, while we're stereotyping, it's also on the other end too as well. It's not just on one end. But then that's a whole nother topic. Because again, that all goes down into slavery. It's a whole nother topic on its own. It's deep. See, that's why it's so important to have knowledge. Because then people won't go around just saying things, looking foolish, and sounding uneducated and just sounding pure ignorant. Because if you know, you know. People can say whatever, but if you're educated and you're well informed, you know that nonsense holds no weight. But see, that's the biggest issue in America. There's a lot of ignorant folks. What did I say at the beginning of this life? The American school system sucks. The kids don't know what they should know. Then they grow up to be adults who don't know what they should know. All of their knowledge comes from television. That's what they believe reality is what they see on TV, what they see on their timelines. Half of the time, these people don't go around other people. They don't go around people of color. They have no deep relationships with people of color, no deep relationship with foreigners, nothing. They don't know. They just judge because they believe what they see in the media and what they see on television, in the news, that is their reality right there. And for them, that's good enough. Uneducated. So the moral of the story is, do your research before you start talking, because then you just sound ignorant. Educate yourself. If your school didn't do it, well, you can do it, I promise you. It's 2025. There's so many ways to get informed and get knowledge that is not via news channels. Educate yourself in a better way. It's 2025. Do better. Do better. If your school didn't do it, well, you do it for yourself. Give yourself the gift of education. Self-educate yourself so you're not out here looking dumb and looking ignorant. Like I said once before during this life, when I was a child, I felt like a child. But when I became an adult, I acted like an adult. I put away my childhood ways. That's how it's supposed to be. You cannot keep acting like a child and you're a whole grown adult. We need to do better as a society and as people with the things that we say, the things that we do, the way that we treat other people. We have to pay attention to it all. The things that we listen to, the things we watch, all of that plays a factor in our lives and how we view other people. We need to do better. So that is it, you guys. Make sure you guys let me know. Actually, never mind. Because I'm going to do what I want. So no, never mind. Never mind. Scratch that. But yes, that's my sister. You guys have already met my boys. You haven't seen baby pictures or pictures when the boys were younger. That's what they look like. That's what I looked like when I was a little younger. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit younger. Yeah. And we did these pictures for Christmas. If you look at the background, you can see that we were going for like the snowfall effect or whatnot. But the boys have gotten so big. Oh, what was I saying earlier? I kind of got off topic. I love having boys because I am able to teach them how to treat a woman. Okay. For me personally, the way that I'm bringing up my boys is to have respect for women, be good men, work hard, you be providers, be protectors. Okay. That is how I'm raising my boys, to be what God has called them to be and to live in their masculine energy. At no point do I want my boys to be given female energy. They're boys. And I think women can do it too, just as well as men can do it. Y'all, some men don't even teach their boys anything. I mean, there's a lot of amazing men out here raised by single moms. So I don't even know where that whole ideology, like, oh, you're a woman, you can't teach a boy how to be a man. No, I'm going to teach mine. He's going to learn how to be a man regardless. I mean, who better to teach a man how to treat a woman? I'm a woman, so I don't know. For me, I feel like it makes sense. Yes, their dad is a man and he can be that example. But what I'm trying to say is a man can wholeheartedly, hold on a second, y'all. I'm coming. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I had to have a conversation with Nathan really quick. We had to talk a little bit. But anyway, no, I believe that a woman can definitely teach a male how to be a man. It's not just embedded in the male, you guys. Some men don't even have any direction in their life, so how can they even direct kids? So, all these things and stigmas that people put out there, I disagree. You know, just let people be. Just treat people like human beings. And like I said, I'm an advocate for women. I'm a huge advocate for women. So I will always be on the advocating side when it comes to females, especially now having daughters as well. So, and just seeing how vulnerable girls and women are is embedded in our DNA is natural. But anyway, I love having boys because I can teach them how to treat a woman. They can learn. I can teach them these things and they can learn from me. I love having daughters. Kind of basically the same thing, They can learn what to expect from a man and just speaking life into my kids. I think it's just kind of goes both ways with boys and girls, But I definitely think that a woman can raise a man. She can raise a really, really darn good man. I've seen so many women who did it on their own, you know. Um, there's a lot of single mothers out here who have raised really well-rounded boys who are great and amazing, wonderful people. So that's another thing that I do not agree with. I hate when people say a woman cannot raise a man. Excuse me? Because there's a ton of them who have. That is a terrible thing to say. But yeah, I love having boys and girls for kind of the same reasons, kind of. But I just love watching the kids grow. It's bittersweet, of course, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But y'all, that is it. That is it for today. Nathan, you want to say hi to everyone? You guys, Nathan's my right hand. You guys probably see Nathan a lot more than any of the other kids. Because he's my right hand man. He loves being with his mama. I mean, all the other kids do too, but Nathan and I, we're always together, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're always together. And a majority of the time, because the other kids are young, I really don't like having them on camera as much. Unless we're doing like something fun or something, but I really don't like having the younger ones on camera like that. So Roman does enjoy being on camera too. So you guys see a little bit more of Roman, even Esther. So, but because they're young, I try not to put them on there too often. And then my oldest, he's older. You kind of expect that. So it seems like Nathan's with me a lot, but truth be told, we're all always together. It's just Nathan is more with me, it seems like, on these videos. I don't know why. I don't know how that happens, but you usually are the one that is. But you had a good day today, right?
Yeah.
Josephine was so cute earlier. She was acting like such a big girl.
What happened?
The way that she was holding what's her name, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. That is so cute. She's getting so big. She was being so cute. But yeah, coming from a teenager perspective, do you think that a woman can raise a man? Coming from a teenager, preteen, he'll be 13 soon, you guys. Oh my gosh. I know, right? It literally just ended.
Well, I think yes, because I mean that's how single moms do it, I guess.
Huh?
That's how single moms do it. They raise them. So I mean, like.
I mean, if you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's what I was
mean,
trying to
they
tell
still
them.
Come out pretty good most of the time. I mean, sometimes, of course, maybe not, but like.
But that's life.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who are raised in 2 households where their kids don't turn out good. So just let people be. Coming from a 12-year-old and a 33-year-old female, just let people be. You know, let people be. People are people, and people are going to do people things. We're all one. We're all humans. No one is perfect, regardless of skin color. It is just ridiculous. And I will keep speaking out against this. I will keep shining light on these topics because they're very important. No longer are we going to let people get away with these things or make them believe that they're getting away with anything. We're speaking out against it, whether they like it or not. We are shining light on evil, okay? We are speaking out against all of these evil things and hateful people. We're going to keep spreading awareness. We're going to keep talking about it because that's what we do. And that is what the Bible calls us to do, okay? Is to speak out against darkness and evil. Because there's plenty of it. There is plenty of it. There is plenty of it. When I tell you guys some of the dark stuff that I have heard, you guys will be flabbergasted to say the least, okay? There's definitely evil in this world. And like the Bible tells us, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. The demons are using a lot of these people out here to do evil work. A lot. So, gotta stay aware. Keep your head up. Keep your eyes open. And stay in prayer. Because he's trying. The devil's trying his hardest. He's working. And you got to stay in prayer. That is my advice before I get off this life. Stay in prayer. Stay in prayer because he's trying. He's working overtime. Okay? Well, that is it, you guys. That's my sissy and my boys that you guys have already known. That's them when they were younger. And that is the live for today. We will catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a beautiful Tuesday. Can't believe it's already Tuesday. It's already about to be the middle of the week tomorrow. That's ridiculous. Time is going by fast.